Hare Krishna. So thank you very much for coming for this Sunday class. And we'll be first doing the Mangalacharan prayers. So please open your Bhagavad Gita as it is book. And we will doing open the introduction of Bhagavad Gita as it is. We'll chant the Mangalacharan prayers. I will chant and you can hear it. Or if you are able to chant along with me, or I say and then you follow. Is that okay? Because now it's been many weeks that we are doing. Hopefully you should be able to chant. Yeah? So I will say the first and then you repeat. Okay. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya
Om Ajnanatim
Ajnanandasya Jananjana
Tasbir Uritanena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha
Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri
Tasmai Shri
Guruve
Guruve
Namaha
Namah.
Shri Chaitanya Bano Abhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale
Shri
Shri
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Manobhustam
Manopishtam
Stapitam Yena
Sthapitam
Bhutale
Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayyam Dadati Swapadantikam
Swayam
Swayamrupa
Rupa
Kadamayam
Kadashriyam
Tadatu Swam Padantikam
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutah Padakamalam
Vandeham Shri
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yut Padkamlam Shri Guru
Shri Guru
Vaisnavamsha
Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam
Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivan Sadhvaitam
Sadvaitam Savadhutam
Advaita
Sadhvaitam Sadhadutam
Parijana Sahitam
Parijana
Parijana
Sahitam
Sahitam
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya Devam
Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya Devam
Shri Radha Krishna Padan
Sri
Shri Radha
Radha
Krishna
Krishna Padam
Padam
Sahagana Lalita
Sahagana
Sahana
Lalitam
Sakana Lalita
Shri Vishakhanvitamscha
Shri
Sri
Vishakha
Vishakanta
Vitam
Vishamcha
Ambitam
Shri Rupam Sagrajatam
Shri Rupam
Rupam
Sagrajatam
Sagrajatam
Sahagana Lalita
Sahagana Lalita
Shri Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. I only got confused now. Anyway, so where were
Hare
we?
Krishna Karuna Sindhu.
we were following like which sampradaya we are following.
So we are
The
next to Sri Krishna Karuna Sindhu.
Yeah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu
Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu
Dina Bandhu Jagatpate
Dino Bandhu Jagatpate
Jagatpate
Gopesha Gopika Kanta
Gopika
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 Kanta
Radha Kanta Namostute
Radha
Radha
Kanta
Kanta
Namostite
Namostute
Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi
Tapta
Tapta Kanchana
Kanchana
Gaurangi
Gaurangi
Radhe Vrindavaneshwari
Radhe
Radhe
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrishabhanu Sute Devi
Vrishabhanusute
Vrishabhanusute Devi
Pranamami Hari Priye
Pranami Hari Priye
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Vanchatakalpatarubhyascha
Vanchakalpatarubhasya
Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha
Kripa
Kripa
Sindhubhya
Sindhubhya
Evata
Eva Cha
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Vaishnave
Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha
Namo Namah
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Shri
Shri
Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Shri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara
Gadadhara
Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vinda
Srivasana
Srivastava
Gaura Bhakta
Bhaktivinoda
Vrinda
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Now together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Yeah, thank you.
Prabhuji, you miss Namo Om Vishnu Padaya.
Purposely, I missed it today. I thought first let everyone get,
Okay.
used to the remaining shloka and then we can go to Prabhupada Praneti. Because it
Yeah.
is not mentioned in the book and the question may come to everybody's mind, oh, why this is not there in the book? Then I have to again explain that. So
Yeah.
I'm explaining so many things and plus this one, that becomes additional thing to be understood and remember. So sometimes, I have to do it purposely as well. Yeah. Okay. So today we are going to start topic 5. Topic 5 is about yoga. Okay. Please have a notebook and a pen ready to note down the points which may not be there in the presentation. So I'm sharing my screen now. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, great. So the topic today is different forms of yoga and the topmost yoga system. So the question arises that what is yoga? Does anyone know what is the yoga? A simple definition of yoga?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start clockwise. 1008. What is yoga?
Is a union of mind, body.
Okay,
But
that's very good answer. So I was starting from Madhuri and Manish actually. So
Yoga means it's actually huge, YUG, and as far as I know, it is the union.
yeah, union. Union with what?
With God.
With God.
Union means
Wonderful.
it's
Very
a
good answer.
connection with the Almighty
Yourself
and your
and
mind, body.
Yeah, very good
Connection.
answer. Very good answer. And Madhuri has already answered that. Saloni, what is your answer?
Similar union to God, devotion to God,
Hmm. Hmm.
like concentration, like everything you do, it's for Krishna. He's like the foremost, like you're doing everything for him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Bhavna, do you have any idea about what the yoga is?
Me? Yeah. Is the posture for the bodies as well?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So
To make
there
flexibility.
are various types. So what answers actually that others have given and what answer you have given, they all are good answers. But now we need to understand what actually the yoga system is all about. So yoga is the union with the God or getting associated with the God. Okay. So when we get associated with the God, what does it mean?
become one.
So when we get associated with the God, that means we are becoming a yogi. Now, when it comes to saying yogi, then suddenly it comes to our mind, oh, yogi means one who is sitting in the Himalayas or sitting in the forest in a particular posture and closing his eyes. And then he is continuously sitting there and thinking or meditating upon something. However, the definition of yoga in Sanskrit means union. It refers to the union in love between the individual consciousness and the supreme consciousness, the soul and the super soul. That is the soul and the God. So the soul, what is God in terms of soul, is the super soul. So it is the union between the soul and the super soul. So our connection with the super soul. So we are not this body, we are a soul, and that soul is getting connected to the super soul. So that is the definition of yoga. What we do in the postures, etc., it is also a yoga, but it is the preparation to make your body not troubling you while doing the yoga. So different postures and this asana, that asana, all that is called Ashtanga Yoga. That is Ashtanga Yoga. What is the use of that yoga? It is very important yoga. However, it is required in order to discipline your body so that your body is ready to take the next step, wherein it is allowing you to sit at a particular posture, and that posture you are sitting for hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours to do some meditation. Okay? Like even the japa meditation that we do, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, on the japa beads that we do. So when we are doing japa on the beads, some people walk and then do japa. Some people can sit on a chair and then do yoga. Some people sit on the ground or the floor and then do the yoga. And these are the various ways by which one can do. But in order to do that, anything can trouble you during that process. Yeah? Because people are not ready for sitting at one place for 2 hours to complete his 16 rounds. Because if you are not sitting on the floor for a good long time, how are you able to sit? So for that, you need to prepare your body. And that's where the Ashtanga Yoga plays a very important role. So if you are doing Ashtanga Yoga, like Surya Namaskar, or you are doing, Padmasana, you are doing Paschimottanasana, all kinds of these asanas, and that is also Ashtanga Yoga process. And it is brought by Patanjali. Rishi Patanjali has brought that system. And by doing this, you are preparing your body so that you are ready to sit at one place. However, when we are doing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, did we talk about this? That you should be doing this? We didn't talk about it because we do not want to make the things difficult for you. Straight away, you go into that. So the yoga has different forms. There is and so finally, by doing Ashtanga Yoga, by doing all these kind of yoga, nowadays there are so many types of yoga, power yoga, all those kind of yogas are also there, but it is just to make it marketing value of that, power yoga. आपको फटाफट बना के दे देंगे and you are a ready product for the market, So nothing like that. No, yoga is yoga. So when you are connecting to the God, that is yoga. And for that, ultimately, what you're doing is, whether you do Ashtanga Yoga, whether you do asana, yama, niyama, pranayama. So in all this, there are ways in which what you see when you go to a doctor, and if you are sick, you are getting a fever, doctor will see your pulse, will ask you various things. That were you coughing at night? Do you have kapha? Do you have, you will test with stethoscope, your chest, your back, etc. And then see from where you have a wheezing coming out and all those stuff. So I'm not a doctor, but I'm just giving you general, what he can check for you. And then see whether you have a temperature as well. He will see your ear. If in case there is an infection, he will see your throat and see the infection is there or not. Or it can be a viral, or it can be a other kind of infection. So he will give you some medication on a prescription, and that prescription is what? It is the process for taking the medication. Also, the process of medication, also that he will write the do's and don'ts. What you have to do and what you have not to do. So when you have fever, when you're coughing, don't drink cold drinks, don't drink ice cream, don't drink this, don't go out, don't sit with others, you will infect them. Or मेरे बोलते ही माधुरी को खांसी आ गई. Yeah. So so this way, what's happening? Doctor is giving you the do's and don'ts. So do's and don'ts are a yama and a niyama. Yama, niyama, pranayama, So all these are the ways. Doctor is giving you a prescription. In that, he's also writing do's and don'ts. क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है. Yes. And what you should be eating? Should eat normal khichdi. Don't eat too much spicy food. Don't eat too much, fried food and all that. Don't eat burgers. Don't eat this. Don't eat that. So there are don'ts and there are do's as well. Do's is just eat khichdi, have warm water, have this, have that. So they're normal. You also know and I also know. But then when we are told that, oh, this is the way. So doctor write RX and then write the prescription. So similarly, in the yoga system, there is an RX that what you should do, what time you should get up to do this, what time you should be sleeping, how much you should be eating, what you should not be eating, at what time you should be eating. So now, when the question of coming the do's and don'ts in our whole life is concerned, we are supposed to be getting up at a certain time, sleeping at a certain time, eating a certain food, eating not after a certain time. Yeah. So all those things are also is a prescription of the life. Yeah. And that is as per the prescription written in the Shastras for us. But normally we avoid, किसी को बंधन नहीं चाहिए. Nobody wants any kind of, binding on them that don't do this, don't do that. Even kids, when they are born, I've given the examples earlier about Bhavana is joined today. So, when an infant, when he starts growing, and then he starts standing up, and then he sees a glass of steel is kept on the table. He, by accident, tried to touch it because he wants to grab it. When he tries to grab it, accidentally it falls on the ground. So it makes a sound. We see that, oh, the glass has fell down, we go and keep it back. So but in this process, what he has learned, that when he throws it down, there is sound coming. So he's understanding cause and effect. मैं इसको नीचे गिरा रहा हूं, ये इसकी आवाज आ रही है. I'm throwing it down, it is making a sound. He understands. But we think, oh, he has poor guy, he has just thrown it down. So we keep it back. He does it again. We keep it back, he does it again. So this is the cause and effect. So they start doing it. So these are, then we say, oh, don't touch it. Don't do it again. So then these are the don'ts for him. Don't do this, don't do that. Like this, we'll see in the life, every stage, we see the do's and don'ts. When they start going to school, then they get the homework, they can cry. Oh, I don't want to do the homework. That this teacher is telling me this teacher is telling me that. Now then exam. Then the SSC exam, then HSC exams, and the uni and all. So when the life goes like this, grows like this, and then we at this step, we are having that term. Yeah. So do's and don'ts are everywhere. And once they completed their study, now I'm done. But now again, he has to struggle to get a job. In the job, again, he has to work hard. There is a performance appraisal is there, so that you have to work hard. So there is no step in which you don't have to struggle and find that you have to plan your life according to what your employer is asking, what your school is asking, what your uni is asking, what your parents are asking to do, not to do. And even the family also, we see when children are growing and they are at the age when they want to go out with their friends, you always tell them, come home at this time. Don't go out at this time. And specifically to the girls, itne baje ghar pe aa jana, like, don't go out at this time. So we have these kind of examples in our life. So these are the do's and don'ts of the life, do's and don'ts for our meditation and the yoga as well. Yeah. So let's see what next in our slides. So the individual consciousness and the supreme consciousness, when they are joining together, and what we are trying to join them together, there is soul and the super soul, that is yoga, basically. And what is not yoga? This is not yoga. The postures is not yoga, but it's a physical exercise for shaping the body, good health and long life, emaciating, renunciate in meditation, like this person is doing it, They are doing it, or this person is doing it here. However, the yoga is defined in 4 ways. Karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and bhakti yoga. There are 4 types of yogas. Karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and bhakti yoga. So we'll go into detail of this, that what is Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga is the process whereby one performs his work for God without the selfish desire for personal gain. However, in the material life, we know that there are 2 kinds of life we live, material life and the spiritual life. Spiritual life, when we are only praying to the Lord. Yeah. And for Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, all these are the processes by which we want to actually reach out to the Bhakti Yoga, basically. Bhakti Yoga is the final destination that we want to go to. And that's where we want to go. And that's the reason we are doing all kinds of yogas, actually. That is, we want to become Kevala Bhakta. In the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it finally takes us to the epitome of this Shastra, that what is the best thing is for you is the Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. First 6 chapters, middle 6 chapters, and last six chapters. How do we define them? And where is the Bhakti Yoga sits in between? The first 6, so we consider that as a sandwich. First 6 chapter is one loaf, last 6 chapter is another loaf. बीच में क्या है? 6 chapters again. But first 6 chapters talked about Karma Yoga, Karma to Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga to Bhakti Yoga. Last 6 chapters talk about Jnana to Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga to Bhakti Yoga. And middle 6 chapters, they talk about pure Bhakti, where we are not talking about Karma, we are not talking about Jnana. Krishna is giving this knowledge in this way. He has created this separation of all this knowledge in various chapters. Like Krishna hasn't spoken the Bhagavad Gita in this way. That now today I'm going to, Arjuna, today I'm going to tell you first chapter. Tomorrow I'm going to tell you second chapter. No. Krishna has not spoken Bhagavad Gita that way. Rishi Vedavyas, he has written it in a very systematic manner for us, so that structured knowledge can come to us. So Rishi Vedavyas has written all this knowledge for us and then put that into a book form, so that the people in this Kali Yuga, very few people come to these classes. Not everyone come to these classes. Did you see that we are having 50 people in the Bhagavad Gita class any week? We don't see it. Few people come, they drop. Only interested people remain here because they really are interested in getting this knowledge. Yeah, not everyone wants to have this knowledge. Kuch dinon baad they get bored because they don't have the taste of it. They don't get the taste of it. Or some people are only after, so they want to learn the shloka and want to know what the shloka is all about. We will come to that stage, of course. We are going to come to that stage, but we have to have a gradual journey before that, because we need to have the fundamentals first to be cleared. Like all this, what I'm talking about today, or I have spoken to you all these weeks, probably we have spent about 10 weeks so far or more. And we haven't come to the shlokas, many shlokas. I spoke about few shlokas, and I have asked you to, by heart those shlokas as well. Couple of you shlokas I have asked you to, but we have not gone deeper into those shlokas yet. We will go into deeper in the shlokas, so don't worry about it. However, we need to first clarify our understanding that where we are and where we are now, where we were and where we are now. So there is a lot of difference, isn't it? We gained so many things. So it is not that we have not. Okay. So now the yoga system basically is created in order for us to go to the bhakti yoga. Yeah, so karma yoga is the process whereby one performs his work for God without the selfish desire for personal gain. What does it mean? It means that the work that we are doing, we offer the fruits of it to the Lord. The fruits can be positive, fruits can be negative. Right? But once we try to do the work for the God, we don't have that in mind that whether it is good or bad, I have done it for you. You take care of it. No, it doesn't go that way. When we are doing the karma, we are trying to do the karma in a way by which we should be able to get the best out of it and offer it to the Lord. Yeah. Then the second comes is Jnana Yoga. Some people are there who want to gain the yoga or go to the yoga system only through the knowledge. So they elevate themselves through the spiritual consciousness, through the cultivation of philosophical knowledge. So as much as they can gain this knowledge, they feel, oh, now I know what is it. Oh, now I know. But our process of learning is what? We should know all these part of things. However, finally we want to go to the Bhakti Yoga by directly going into Bhakti Yoga and become a Kevala Bhakta. That only Bhakti is the way by which we can reach to the God. Yeah, so that is our process. However, we have to understand that what all these processes are. The process of elevation to spiritual consciousness in a Jnana Yoga system is through the cultivation of philosophical knowledge. Unless we have that philosophical knowledge, we don't feel satisfied if you are a Jnana Yogi, if you are a philosopher. Now we talk about Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga, a mechanical meditative practice meant to control the mind and senses and focus one's concentration on the Supreme. So unless they do a mechanical activity by which their body comes into control, and that practice requires everyday attention to those things, Surya Namaskar every day, asanas every day. Yeah. All types of asanas they do. And it says that Surya Namaskar is Sarvanga Asana, So when we do Surya Namaskar, all the asanas are taken care of in that. It's a good process. I used to do a lot. So Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga is the practice by which we do mechanical meditative practice to control the mind and the senses and focus one's concentration on the Supreme. So by doing this activity, what we do is Surya Namaskar, Om Mitraya Namaha, Om Ravaya Namaha, Om Suryaya Namaha. So all these mantras of Surya, Lord Surya, we chant and we do those 10 10 positions in the Surya Namaskar we do. So it's called sun salutations in English, and we call it Surya Namaskar. So the various positions in that, like this and then go down and all those. So you all know probably. So when we do in every For every Surya Namaskar, we chant the Lord's name. That is Lord. Who is Lord? Sun Lord. We chant his name. And then we keep on going. Like this, we are trying to train our body. But at the same time, we are meditating upon Sun Lord, who is the external energy of Supreme Lord. Now, there are some internal energies, some external energies of the Lord. We talked about in the uh, last 2-3 weeks, we talked about that. So these external energies are under the control of the Lord. How they are under the control of the Lord? That the sun rises at the right time every day. Whether it's a 4.5 hours difference between India time and Australia time, or it's a 5.5 hours time. But sun will rise at the right time, at a particular time. It will go off at this particular time. Yeah. Similarly, the moon will come at the same time. There are 4 ritus that come, at the right time. Varsha ritu, then Grishma ritu, all those. Summer will come at the right time. Then winter will come at the right time. Who is controlling all this? There is a controller. That controller is the Supreme Lord. And all these ritus and seasons are coming because of his energy. And they are all Krishna's external energies. So do you understand this? Because whenever there is a summer season, we see that, oh, there's so much heat today. Then we want to switch on the aircon and switch on the fan, etc. We want to go out for a nice walk in the morning and all those stuff. So we want to make sure that we want to please, cool our body like that, because we can't tolerate it. Our tolerance is very low for that perspective. However, the main point here is all the external energies are of Krishna or the Supreme Lord that is controlled by Lord, and they never fail. Oh, today's sun didn't come only, he's on leave. It never happens that way, right? Oh, Moon is not there today, he's छुट्टी पे गया है वो. अपनी नानी के यहाँ गया, तो ऐसा कभी होता नहीं है. It doesn't happen that way. So it always be there. Or even if we can't see the moon, there is a light. That light is coming from sun. It's a reflection that is coming from moon to us, right? And that reflection or the light which is coming from the sun as well is the external energy of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, nothing can be done, right? If the gravitational force goes away, what will happen? Everything will collide on each other. Newton's 3 laws of motion, right? So how Newton has written those laws of motion? We have all know this story, like apple niche गिर गया, and then that day he reasoned, oh, the gravity was like this. Does the Newton's law of motion started happening on the day he has discovered that? No. It was happening before as well. Yeah. So all these things, see, unless we discuss these things, we don't realize the importance of supreme knowledge, supreme being, or supreme Lord. That because he is there, everything is controlled. The gravitational force did not start the day Newton has discovered it. It was there before. It will be there many years henceforth as well. Yeah. Similarly, his yoga system was there before as well. Patanjali and all these, they have been part of it. And that's why it is called as, okay, like Patanjali's yoga system. Yeah, it is the Dhyana yoga system. So similarly, Newton's laws of motion or Kepler's laws of, gravitation. So all these they became the heroes of our history or maybe science because they have written some rules around them. And then it has become a subject of study for our students, and we all have studied as well in our unis, in our schools, and when we have done engineering or post graduation that time. Okay. Now we go ahead. So now we know Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga system. So what is Bhakti Yoga finally? The yoga of selfless, ecstatic, devotional love of God, that is Krishna, as Krishna himself confirms in this yoga, this particular shloka. Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmanaha shraddhavan bhajante yomam same yukta tabo mataha. This is Bhagavad Gita. Okay, shloka. So in this particular shloka, Krishna very clearly states that Yogi Ram api sarvesham madgate nantaratmanaha Shraddhavan bhajante yomam samay yukta tamo bataha. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental living service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all yogis. So, whom did Krishna has considered as the highest yogi? The one who is directly into Bhakti Yoga. The yoga of selfless, ecstatic, devotional love of God, as Krishna himself confirms. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Yeah. I have created a kind of a map what the human beings are, what type of human beings are there. There are law abiders, there are lawbreakers. In the law abiders, karmis, jnanis, dhyanis, bhaktas. And in the karmis, there are sakama karmis and nishkama karmis. We will talk about them. Who are the lawbreakers? What happens when we are driving our car and we go into in an opposite direction? Suppose the road has to be one way and a car comes from that side. What will happen? It will collide on some other car. It's an offense, right? So those who are lawbreakers, what happens to them? They get a ticket. They might get punished. Their license may be taken away. So those are lawbreakers. So those who are law abiders, for within them also there are categories of. So those categories we are going to talk about here. So law abiders are karmis, those who are doing some karma. There are jnanis, those who are doing jnana yoga. Dhyanis, those who are doing meditative yoga system. And there are bhaktas. Bhaktas are the bhakti yogis directly coming here. However, all these three will come to bhakti yoga in a different way. They are not coming directly. They are coming in a different way. That means they are not following the direct way of doing bhakti. They are following the indirect way of doing the bhakti. The direct way of doing the bhakti is directly getting into bhakti by doing either by doing the meditation of the Lord directly. Dhyanis, they are trying to do the meditation and then they are trying to do the yoga, Ashtanga yoga, and then they are coming to bhakti. Jnanis are coming first, getting the philosophical knowledge, and then they are coming to Karmis. They are coming first karma and offering their fruits to the Lord, whether they are negative fruits or they are positive. The Sakama Karmi is the one who is taking the fruits to himself. Nishkama is the one who is taking also the, we will talk about this in very detail in the next this one, so that, I don't want to have too much covered here at this point in time. Just want to give it a helicopter view of how human beings behave in the law avoiders and lawbreakers way. Now we come to the lawbreakers. So lawbreakers, they have no belief in God, rebirth or karma. They say this world came by chance. There was a beautiful story for this, so there was one scientist who was saying, "Oh, this world just came by chance." So one of the Bhakti yogi, what he did, he created in a small room, all the all the universes, all the all stars, etc., even sun, moon, earth, everything he has created, and everything was very nicely, moving there. And then when the scientist came to see that, how did you do that? Then this bhakta said, no, it came all by chance. So how it is possible? It's not possible without somebody is doing it. So then he said that how can you say that this world has come by chance? Excuse me. So this world is all in all. There is nothing beyond it. That's what his understanding was, the scientist's understanding was. Scientists' sense gratification is their goal. They are the lawbreakers. The sophisticated animals conditioned to the bodily concept of life. So the sophisticated animals can be we as well. We are two-legged animals. And there are four-legged animals. Yeah. So sophisticated animals are human beings and they are conditioned to the bodily concept of life. Khao, piyo, maja karo. That is the principle of their life. What will happen? Eating, sleeping, mating, bas yahi karna hai. Nothing else they want to do. They don't want to spend their time in the bhakti. They want to spend their time to do the meditation on the Lord. Yeah. So these are the people who are lawbreakers and they don't want to abide by any laws of the universe. So we have to understand all these fundamentals in order for to go a step ahead of this. Yeah. Further, the lawbreakers are trying to find out better ways of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These are the four things which even animals do. Right? So no discrimination between pious and sinful activities. They don't care whether I'm doing a pious activity or sinful activities. पैसा खाया तो खाया, उसमें क्या problem है? Today I have eaten goat, tomorrow I'll eat pig. Day after tomorrow I may eat, beef. What is the difference? It is only food that has been provided to us. Whatever is available, I eat. I asked one of my friends who was a meat eater, what did you eat today? Oh, there was some meat dish which came to my plate and I ate it. Now you don't know what you are eating, what kind of a person you are, and why did you eat that? So that's a different subject altogether. But they eat whatever comes to their plate, which should be meat. So these kind of people are also there in the world, they don't care what kind of meat is coming to their plate, but they want to eat it. So they don't know what is the difference between pious and sinful activities. Their tireless endeavor is for little sense gratification. Let's work hard. Let's get promotion. For what? Get more money and then again spend it like on what? Sense gratification. Today I'm going to Bali. Tomorrow I will go to San Francisco. What is the difference? Are you going to do any pious activity there, or are you going to do any, bhakti activities there? They are only working for the fruity activities. The last point here is those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheistic ways. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. all this is defeated because they are bewildered and attracted by demonic and atheistic views. Because what you eat, you become that, like that. You know, if you eat sattvic food, your life becomes sattvic. If you don't eat sattvic food, that means non-sattvic food, then you become non-sattvic. You become absolutely like animals. The difference between the animal and the human being is quite discerning in terms of what is the difference. We have a higher consciousness. Animals don't have higher consciousness. However, their consciousness is good to the extent that they eat whatever is required for them at that point in time. But human beings' consciousness is higher. So what they will do, they will store food for 1 week, 2 weeks. कहीं से कुछ फोकट में मिल रहा है ना और लेके आ जाओ. If you have one fridge, buy one more fridge. उसमें स्टोर कर देंगे. So we don't have to cook the whole week. Just keep on storing there. So this accumulation, the tendency of accumulation is there in the human being. At the same time, we have a better consciousness that we know that we are hungry. We know that we are suffering. The animals, they don't know that they are suffering. Yeah. What will happen if they jump from a particular height down? Okay. So that is the problem that, the human beings and the animals they have. Though we have higher consciousness, but we also have a tendency to accumulate, tendency to store, tendency to, not like others, tendency to cheat. The defects are there, 4 defects are there in human beings. So we are always, having that problem, though we have a higher consciousness. The higher consciousness should be used in the knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That knowledge only will come when you go to the classes and you understand the scriptures. And that scripture is giving us the philosophical knowledge. At the same time, it is elevating us in terms of how we should be living our life. Yeah. Now, the fruitive workers, there are 2 types, karmakandis. So the karmakandis are the people, those who go to the temple or anywhere and they ask for something from the Lord. Dham dehi, putram dehi, ye dehi, wo dehi, as if they think that Lord is none but Lord is nothing but our order supplier. We order something, he will supply it. As if we are going to a restaurant and we look at the menu and order this. Oh, waiter लाके अपनी table पर रख देगा. Or this was your order and I have supplied to you all this because you ordered this. So those who want to follow scriptures, besides having a regulated sense gratification, are called karmakandis. But they think that the scriptures to be used only for their purposes. What purpose they are able to resolve for their own benefit. The scriptures will be used only for that purpose, and that is the category which is called karmakandis. They will do pujas, they will do yagyas only for asking for आज मुझे ये दे दो, कल मुझे वो दे दो, लड़की की शादी नहीं हो रही है, $1000 दे दिए पंडित को, and please do puja for me. I'm not getting a good job, please get me this, please get me that. So they are keep on doing this puja. Yes, and in the Karmakanda, all these things have been defined. That you can do certain pujas and you can get this. So sense gratification is such a thing that it even invites wrath of Yavaraja. To regulate our sense gratification by following scriptures, worshipping the respective demigods, you can get that particular ichha or particular wish can be fulfilled. This way, attain gradual detachment from a sense gratification, meant for gradual upliftment, but they are not end in themselves, because there is no end to our wishes. If one thing is fulfilled, we want another thing. When we came to Australia, what was our biggest problem? When will I get the PR? Once I got the PR, when will I get an apartment? When the apartment we got, we want a bigger house. So we have endless list of things that we want to fulfill, and for fulfilling those, we do thousands of kinds of pujas, isko de do, and they keep on asking to the Lord, as if he is an auto supplier. Jao, घंटी बजाओ, उनको बोलो ये लेके आओ, कल वो लेके आओ, I'll give you $1,000 check. Like that. So they are actually trying to do the business with the Lord. But that is not the connection that we should be having with the Lord. Yeah. Any question? I haven't asked any question to anyone so far. Okay. We are going good?
Good.
Yep. So less intelligent people think that the purpose of Vedas is to elevate one to the heavenly planets. So what will happen when we are talking about heavenly planets? Heavenly planets are the planets which are above Earth planet. So we have Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, then we have Swargaloka. All these are the lokas where we still have the life and we still have the jiva living there. And we do get that because we have done some pious activities and because of which we get elevated to that loka. Now, once we are elevated to those lokas, our pious activities, once they are finished, we come back to again to the Prithvi Loka, where we have to start again from zero and start working hard in order to again get elevated. So we come back, we go to higher planets as we start increasing pious activities. So like giving charity to Andhashram, to CRY, CRY, all these are the pious activities that we are doing. Okay. And when we start doing pious activities, too many pious activities, our balance of pious activity increases. Bank balance of pious activities keeps on increasing. At the end of the life, when the pious activities balance has been gone to a very high level, we may get elevated to these lokas. Okay. However, once this pious, after reaching there, also what there? You can enjoy your life. There are apsaras and this and that, So you can enjoy your life there. But again, you have to come back. Once all the pious activities are finished, you come back here and start from आधे किलो से start करना. What is the average pound that a child weight is when the birth takes place?
7 to 8.
7 to 8.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8. Anything.
Yeah, 6 pound, 7 pound, ऐसे बोलते हैं ना. 7 pound का हुआ है like that. So we have to start from there and again start understanding these shastras again. But the good thing is, if you have a spiritual activity done where you don't have any balance created for pious or sinful activities, then with the spiritual activities, whatever that you have left in the earlier life, you can start from there. That is the beauty, of the spiritual activities. And whatever japa, how many japas that you have done in this lifetime, we'll start from there. But the pious activities and sinful activities, they will stay with you and take you to word accordingly, Like people like, Vijay Malia.
Hmm.
Which loka he will go, I don't know. But, you know, so the lokas below Earth planet is also there. Atal, Vital, Satal, all these and Patal, you know, all these lokas are there below Earth planet. So if your sinful activities balance is too high, then you will get birth according to that. And after reaching there, you again have a possibility of doing more sinful activities in order to go to Patal Loka. But if you go there and try to do pious activities, you have a chance to come back to Prithvi Loka. But why should we do sinful activities? You know, why to eat meat? Why to do all these things? You know, as per Shastra, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo Me Bhaktya Pranashyati. What do you offer me? Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, and Toyam. You can offer me a leaf, Pushpam, a flower, Phalam, a fruit, and Toyam means water. So you can offer these things to me, and that's all you have to do. And keep bhakti to me. And once you do that, 100% I will guarantee you that you come back to me. In Bhagavad Gita 7.14, Krishna says that Maihi bhakti hi bhutanam amrutatvayat kalpate. Sorry, 7.14 says that sometimes I forget. Aging now. Devi hi aisha gunamai mama maya duratyaya. Mame vaye prapadyanti mayam etam tarantite. So Devi aisha gunamai. So this material world has three gunas. You know, Devi aisha gunamai. That gunas are Satgun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. It is full of these three, and we are the combination of these three. You know, so what we do is a combination of these three activities: Rajaguna, Tamaguna, Sataguna. Sometimes we do Satguna activity, sometimes we do Rajaguna activity, sometimes we do, you know, yeah. So we are doing, and this is my mama. It says the Mama Maya Duratyaya. This is my Maya. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Duratyaya is very, very hard to overcome. Yes. But if you surrender to me, you will definitely come back. So he says, Mamaiva ye prapadyante, mayam etam tarantite. But if you surrender to me, you will be able to cross this ocean very easily. It is like, you know, when you are learning swimming from a professional swimmer, then you should be able to cross the ocean like that. So Krishna is the finest or very, you know, good teacher of swimming out of this world. So we understand Krishna, Krishna's power, Krishna's bhakti. We should be able to follow that, and we'll be able to come out of this world very easily. So it says that Devi hi aisha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mamai vaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Those who are in this material world and want to come out of this, they should surrender to me. And I guarantee that you should be able to come out of this. Yeah. So like this Krishna, actually, in Bhagavad Gita, many places he tells us, you know, similar in different ways. Same thing in different ways. Because you never know which chapter you come across and you get that knowledge. So that you should be able to come back to God. And you get that realization, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing this way. You know. So it is the matter of chance that how you can come across this knowledge, and then you should be able to come out of this. So it's a matter of chance. So that is the reason it is very important that we remain in the association of such people where we should be able to get this knowledge. It is not easy. It is hard because you have to come out of your comfort and then gain this knowledge. How to come out of the comfort? That you have to get up early in the morning, do your japa, do your worship. In the winter season, it's very hard for people to get, shower. सबसे पहले उठना ही मुश्किल होता है so in the winter because रजाई में से निकलना is most difficult thing in the world during that time. So our Mangala Aarti happens at what time? 4:30. The devotees, they live in the temple and they have to take bath at 3:30 in the morning. Early morning 3:30, just imagine. And sometimes the heater doesn't work there. So you don't get warm water also to take shower. So they have to shower with the cold water. Whatever is the normal temperature during that time. And for days together, they have to do it like this. It is not, one day you are having to do this. No, they have to do it always like this. And you will see that Radha Gopinath in the temple is always looking tip-top, very nicely dressed. They give us happiness. When you see them, you find it so much happiness. So the good thing is that we should be able to come out of this comfort zone and take some, some atrocities, and then follow the lifestyle of a bhakta. Then you should be able to cross this ocean very easily, is what Krishna is saying. Devihi Aisha Gunavi, Mama Maya Dvatyaya, Mamai Vaye Prapadyante, Payami Tam Tarantite. So if you want to come to me, please cross this ocean and by surrendering to me. All right. So the less intelligent people think that the purpose of Vedas is to elevate one to the heavenly planets. Now let's see what it says next. It talks about a Traigunya. Traigunya Vishya Veda, Nishtraigunya Bhavarjunaha, Nirdvandho Nishtya Tattvostho, Niryoga Kshema Atman. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjun, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. What are three modes of material nature? The goodness, passion, and ignorance. So if you transcend yourself from these three modes of material nature. So what is the highest in these three modes? Ignorance at the down, middle is passion, and topmost is goodness. What is above goodness? It's pure goodness. It is the mode of pure goodness, where you will be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. In the self means you have to look at your soul, which is part and parcel of super soul. What is super soul? Is Lord himself. So look at the soul, get associated in the knowledge of the soul, concentrate on your soul, which is part and parcel of the super soul. By doing that, what happens is, when it is connected to the super soul or to the Lord, with that, what goes? See, there are two bodies we have, the gross body and the subtle body. Gross body is only this sharira, right? This body. It is made up of matter. And what is soul? Soul consists of three things: mind, intelligence, and false ego. Yeah. So what is the false ego, Manish Prabhu?
False ego is false.
Okay, it is the identity by which we live.
Yeah, will yeah.
Identity, like I am a director, I am a
And
professor, I'm an engineer,
have a name for
I'm a
yourself.
teacher. Yeah, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a husband, I'm this, I'm that. So we live with that identity, you know. Oh, I live in the ponds, I live in Son of Gardens. That is the identity. I live in a posh area. I work for Commonwealth Bank of Australia. You know? So these are the false way of identifying ourselves. Oh, I was a senior director, you know, you were, not you are not now. मेरा जॉब चला गया मई में, अब वो सीनियर डायरेक्टर, तो चला गया तो अब तो नहीं हूं ना, खत्म हो गया, finish. I was. So that was, you know, now what you are today, you are a single human being who has two bodies, a subtle body and the gross body. And the subtle body contains the soul, and soul contains these things: mind, intelligence, and false ego. So when we are developing our mind, our intelligence, and not identifying ourselves with this body, then what happens? We are able to concentrate ourselves on the super soul and the soul. Soul and the super soul, when they combine together, join together, that is the yoga.
Union, yeah.
That is the yoga that we are talking about. Does it make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Hmm? Any questions? Bhavana, is it becoming a higher dose today? The first class and a little bit. Yeah?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
So maybe Madhuri can forward you all the lectures and earlier PDFs. You go through them. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Yeah. And if I have time, I will explain you. Sunday, normally I go to the temple at about 4:30, 5. I go to the temple and come back around 9:30. You know, so my evenings are dedicated to the temple. I am with the Radha Gopinath. Sometimes you don't realize that you are using an iPod because I keep listening to the lectures, you know, some Maharajas or something. So, yeah. So that is also another way of, you know, enlightening yourself and remain with the Lord. That always you are listening to some bhajan or kirtan or, you know, listening to some lecture. So there are various beautiful lectures given by various Vaishnava acharyas, you know. And best way, I always request all of you to come to the temple on Sunday. Except Saloni, nobody is able to come. So I don't know what the problem is, but you have to solve this problem as soon as possible. Otherwise, you will be fined very soon. Mathuri, how are you doing otherwise?
Me?
Health-wise?
I'm okay. Okay, Prabhuji, I'm okay now. Thank you.
Very good, very good. But unless we attempt it, it is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless you, you know, jump into the swimming pool, how will you learn the swimming? You will not. Yeah. And for that, you need to buy swimming costume. You need to get the admission to the swimming pool and all that. You know, so all this preparation is we are already doing it. Only
Yes.
thing is now you have to start learning the swimming. Yeah. So we'll stop here and we meet next week, same time, 10 o'clock. So, and I'll be very strict if those who are not coming to the classes for more than 2 weeks, I will drop them from the group. And link for the YouTube will only go to those who are attending the class very strictly. So we have to do that. Otherwise, this is not a cheap knowledge that can be given to anyone. This is a very confidential, most confidential knowledge and is not available for free for anyone. Yeah, I have to be very, very, you know, open on these things, and we all have to, you know, acknowledge that fact that I am giving my time, you are giving your time, and if people are not serious about it, then we have to be serious about it. Yeah. So I don't care. If there is only one person, I will give the class. Yeah. All right. So we will chant Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha. If you open the Mangala Sharan prayers that we chanted this morning, when we began the class. So every week when we finish our class, we will chant those mantras. So you look at the Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha. Okay. So I will chant, you repeat. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha.
Sindhubhya eva cha
Patitanam Pavadebhyo
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
So what is the meaning of this? It is Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha. So Vancha means Ichha Purti. So Kalpataru is the wish-fulfilling tree. Okay? And Vaishnava are supposed to be Kalpataru. They are like Kalpataru. They are wish-fulfilling trees. And if you ask for their benediction, if you ask for forgiveness from Vaishnavas, they immediately give you the forgiveness. So if I have committed anything wrong while giving the class, I have said anything wrong, I ask for the forgiveness. Or you might have thought something in your mind while attending the class that also can be forgiven by Vaishnavas. So that's why we chant this mantra always. Yeah, while finishing the class and also in the beginning that we heard. Okay, let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra also once and then. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
Lord Shri Shri Gaur Nitaya ki jai. Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki jai.
Jai.
Gadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Kalpe Malande Hari. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.